to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so what'd you bring for me? This looks really awesome.
I brought Bucked Up.
This is so cool. This is a big one. Okay, so tell me what these products, what's this one?
Bucked Up Swirl Whip. It is a protein shake.
So is this before workouts or after workouts?
I usually take it before. Sometimes I'll take it 2 or 3 times a day if I'm not getting enough protein. But it tastes really good, and it mixes really good with water.
And then what about this one?
Bucked Up, that is a non-stimulant. It's no caffeine, natural energy, B12. It has beta-alanine, pump. Like, it has a lot of ingredients that definitely is a game changer in the gym.
So as far as Bucked Up products go, is it a lot of like energy supplements, workout stuff? Is there actual any daily vitamins you could take as well?
You know, they actually have quite a range. You know, primarily they're known for their pre-workouts, the non-stim all the way up to Mother Bucker, which is like intense, insane.
Nice, I love that.
And they have the protein. They do have vitamins, different supplements, and they just launched Babe in October.
What's that?
It is made by women for women.
Oh, that's what we need in our lives,
Absolutely.
right?
So they have 11 different products to choose from.
And this is cool. So you started doing this at this time, which I know you've actually tried a lot of your products. So I like that when I can actually ask you, like, hey, what do you like best? That's what I'm going to decide. It's so many decisions.
Right.
And then you're actually also running for a competition. Tell us about that.
I am. The month of October is National Breast Cancer Foundation does, I think this is their 3rd year, for Fab Over 40. And so I saw it last year, missed opportunity to register and participate. And so this year I saw it, and here we are.
And you're running for a great cause. What's your connection to breast cancer?
So my breast cancer connection is personal. I lost my oldest aunt in 2001 to breast cancer. Also through the years I've lost clients, good friends battling breast cancer. Some survived, some did not.
Oh my goodness. And then how did that make you feel about you? Because every time you have a friend that's close to you that dies of something, that then you start thinking about your own mortality, what you're doing, working out, and if you're taking the right supplements. I mean, how did it change you?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I think it was 40 and I had to have my first mammogram because I found some little knots in my breast. And they turned out to be benign or like more or less cyst. And then
did you get them removed?
No, they said that they were like, if they weren't bothering me, like just keep an eye on them, see if they change in size or anything. And so actually this year I had a lot larger of a cyst. Well, is what it turned out to be, was a cyst. You know, so that was kind of alarming, you know, to feel this larger mass in my breast.
So was it a different cyst or the actual cyst that was always there before and it just grew bigger?
I'm not sure if it's the same, different.
Because that would freak me out. Like, they're leaving them in there, which I understand. You don't want to get anything removed, you don't have to. But then I would get all paranoid, like one day, like, is it bigger? Is it the same size? Like, do you ever get paranoid?
You know, I just took it was, for myself, I didn't get worked up, didn't get too overly excited or anxious. I knew I was going to have a mammogram, an ultrasound. You know, and the discovery was it was a cyst. They weren't concerned with it. As far as anything else, just keeping an eye on it, make sure there's no change in size or redness, swelling, things like that. So yeah, it definitely is something I think is important, especially if you feel anything inconsistent or see something inconsistent, to go have it checked.
So how long now do they want you to get a mammogram because of like all of this history? Do they tell you like every 2 years, every 5 years?
Mine seems to be more like once a year.
Okay, so because you've had kind of a scare or an alarming or a cyst.
Yeah, and like this year I actually did have 2 because of the cyst. I had my regular one, which it didn't show up, and then like I said, I just all of a sudden, like I was doing the breast check and noticed there was a lump in there, and so I actually had 2 this year.
Oh my goodness! And so with your aunt, was that like really quickly that she found it, and then what was her experience like a little bit?
I know she had a really positive mind going through it. I talked to her quite a bit towards the end. I went over and visited my grandmother, her mother, and so I'd call and she would kind of give me an update a little bit. Her daughter kept me updated. She did have her breast removed, and it was looking hopeful that she was going to, have a recovery or at least remission.
Oh my goodness.
And so at the end, it kind of went quick.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And so with Bucked Up, do you know if they have any, and cancer, there's a lot of variables involved, but do they have anything like some self-preservation pills or supplements that you thought are pretty good about keeping healthy?
Well, I mean, I think in general, lifestyle, whole foods is important to eat. They do have different vitamins, greens. Some products are for him, some are for her. So they do make some more
that's good,
specific for each gender that, men aren't really, don't really need the estrogen, and women don't really need all the testosterone. So it's nice that they have those choices and options that are completely made for specific needs.
We're coming off of October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So there's also men have breast cancer. So
yeah, they do, and I think it's something people forget.
It's something I forget for sure.
Yeah, and that I want to say I was reading something that had indicated that if a male in your immediate family has breast cancer, your chances, I don't know the statistic is greater and should be monitored and checked often.
I was going to say, that'd be the last thing I think anybody would check for too. I mean, because they're not encouraged to get mammograms.
Right.
And so if you do win this and the money does go to the breast cancer, it encompasses the men and women, right?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely. I know last year they raised $8.2 million for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. So hopefully this year they'll raise more and more awareness, and there's a lot of people involved. It's been exciting. It's been an exciting journey so far. Yeah.
And then explain how it works with the competitions. We vote for you once per day. We get a free vote. Mm-hmm. Then we can do some paid votes. How does that work?
So they'll send an email basically stating, and it's on like the link. So when you click on, you click vote, it'll say 2 for 1. And usually they do it for like 24 hours. We don't know when it's coming up. And so it's a way for people to donate. And then as far as, on my side are the contestants that they get double votes. So say you're paying $10 a vote, I'd get 20 or 100 or whatever. You could pick your own amount. But the voting is every 24 hours, and it is essential for the numbers to grow because it is accumulative. And we're coming this Thursday, which
every Thursday is a voting Thursday, right?
I think it might be on the Thursdays. I haven't really associated that, but they will be coming to the next round, and so it'll be down to 10, and then I believe 5, and then so on.
Oh my goodness, how scary! There's always like an elimination. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So far, I've been holding in first in my group. So that's the other thing. I don't know how many groups are out there. There's groups across the United States. There, in the beginning, it was 65, and then they eliminated, or it went. How do you say it? Start at 65, and then it was the top 20, and then we're in the 15 now, and then the next will be the 10. So yeah, it's a process.
And this is really cool because Central Valley. So if you win, it's kind of like a win for the Central Valley. That's what I love about these competitions. People don't realize that's really cool to have someone from the Central Valley on the cover of the magazine. So do you know what that entails? So you'd be on the cover of.
So it's a new beauty magazine, and so you get a 2-page cover and a story about over fab and 40.
Over fab and 40.
Yeah.
Do you feel fab?
At times, yes.
Right. That's what it comes down to. You're like, yeah, some days I feel fat, but I don't even feel 40. Then some days you're like, no, I feel 50.
Yeah, that's around the corner. So yeah, there's actually women from 40 to, I don't even know the oldest one that's running. I think I've seen some that are in their 70s. So it's fab over 40. Right. So it's not just 40. I thought that initially, and then I was like, oh, okay, over 40. Got it. So it's exciting. There's a lot of beautiful women out there in this competition. I think everybody has a story.
So what's your story? Like, if you do win this, what would you like people to know about, like, themselves, about beauty, about keeping healthy? What's kind of your message on that?
I think it's important that, nutrition, staying active, skincare products, they don't have to be over abundance, like simple, but yet they do help. I mean, vitamin C is great, moisturizer. I think the important thing, though, is staying active. I know for me, kayaking, hiking, going to the gym.
And you cook a lot of your own meals.
I tried to cook
the luxury
of my
of
meals.
eating. You make great meals, and so is that part of something that you actually look forward to when you're cooking? Like what? Because I ate a soup that had a bunch of vegetables that you put in it. Is that something that when you gravitate towards cooking, you're like, I want to make sure I have a lot of vegetables?
Yeah, it's a great way to get a lot of vegetables in one of soups. I mean, especially, we're getting into winter, so it's kind of somewhat of a comfort food. But it's also a good meal prep, and then I'm making it, so I know what goes in it. And I don't use a lot of sodium. I'm a little bit probably more bland to some people in my cooking. I'm like traditional onion, garlic, salt, pepper. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So it is funny, just as we get older, we have all these stresses, and you don't want it to show on your face. When did you start paying attention to stuff like that and start moisturizing and start being like, oh, I have to you can't wake up with yesterday's makeup and be fat, because we did that like in our early 20s. Right. So at what point were you like, oh, okay, I need to start doing this? I'd
say I started in my late 20s. I had a day spa, and I got in.
Oh, you did? You had a day spa?
I did, and I had. I went through esthetician school, so I learned about the skin and products. So for me to have a spa, in the products I carried, of course, I need to use them. So I have, so when people ask me, I could tell them how they work and how they could use them as well. And obviously different ages are going to have a little bit different needs. So I would say, I think I was in my later 20s when I started.
Well, that's a good experience. Them. You probably wouldn't have thought about that if you didn't have the spa, huh? Because as you were learning, you're like, oh, I need to start doing this. I'm getting at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
So you started before you actually really needed to. That's good. Well, they say you're supposed to. Yeah, they say we're supposed to do that. So it's like, that's actually good that you did that.
Right. And then, I think being Caucasian, I have a little against, exactly.
No, I know.
Exactly. And it's like, I think it was like in my early mid 40s is when I started noticing more changes in my skin to where I'm like, what is this? And so it is hard aging gracefully, but it's, we're all going to be there. Well, hopefully we'll all get there someday, and to be blessed to age with all the wrinkles and gray hair and all that fun stuff.
And then you know a lot, like in your family, that there's been depression, there's mood swing, there's a lot of things that we can't even control just in our bodies with our mood stabilizers and hormones. What do they tell you about Bucked Up? Is there stuff that we could do to combat that kind of the happy? I've heard there are happy pills. There's a lot of happy pills.
So I haven't got to try it yet. I will be putting in an order very soon. I'm almost out of my protein. Is Bay Balance, and so that is something they put out. And reading, the benefits and what's in it is definitely something I think that if you do have PMS or mood imbalances, estrogen, serotonin, it has ashwagandha, which I know is really good for a lot of things. So yeah, they do offer a product such as that, Bay Balance.
Is that one of your messages too? Like if you make the cover of the magazine that you would, because I think a lot of things with self-esteem, it's not even about looks. There's so much more that goes into it. Just if we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. So it's like, but you know a lot, you have a lot of experience about that. So what would your message be as far as that goes about finding out who you are and what makes your mood up and down or your hormone imbalances?
I have to think about that one.
But what's great about you is you're always like, if there's a problem, you fix it. You're really like searching, like, okay, well, this didn't work, let's do this.
Right. Sometimes things take time, and then too, like navigating like what's causing it, or is it just something out of your control, like the chemical imbalance in your body or your brain. It's a process, and some things work, some things don't, and it's a process.
And you're okay with antidepressants, right? Because like I think they're okay as well. Because people are like, well, you're training, you're all healthy, whatever. I'm like, yeah, but if you have to take things, a mood stabilizer, that's good for you.
I mean, as far as like antidepressants, I think we're all made up differently. I'm totally for like, I understand like the need for them. There's a glitch in the brain. If you tried everything else, it's not working. For myself personally, I probably have the more negative side effects from them. And so that's been a challenge, just finding the right balance for me, or the right one, without all the negative side effects. So I do tend to try to go more natural if I can.
No, for sure. Well, and that's why I'm glad that you're doing all these supplements. I'm glad that you're being a guinea pig for us. You could tell us what kind of works and what doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Mother Bucker is not one I will ever try. I'm caffeine sensitive. That's why I was super excited that they have the non-stim. There's actually a low stim somewhere.
Is it this one? Or is it a smaller one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's that one. Yeah, that one's the 100. So this one's LFG Burn 100, so it's 100 caffeine, but it also has thermogenic in it, the 100.
Nice.
So if you're wanting to lose a little extra fat.
Why not?
Right? Especially as we get older, our body likes to hang out.
Hang on to it,
and the fat likes to hang out. So
okay, so if we do want to get these products, how do you get credit for it? What do we have to do?
So I have a code. It's Amber Frey 23. It's all lowercase.
Oh, that's easy. Okay.
Yeah, and then
so we could even just go to the website and then put that.
As far as I know, I do have a link on my Facebook and Instagram account.
Okay, so we have to go there anyways to vote for you. That's where I go every day to vote for you for the contest. So
So usually, So I have it on my Instagram as well as.
Is it public or private though?
They're both public.
Oh, perfect. So then we don't have to do.
They're public. Yeah, there's no.
You have to be when you're doing all this.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't go private with. When you're trying to promote
links,
things.
Links for this.
Right.
Well, yeah. So, how long do you know this competition goes for?
Through December.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
If you make it all the way, wow. And you started in the beginning of October?
October 9th is when it started. So it goes through, I'm not sure the exact cutoff. It's in December. I want to say 12th, but don't quote me. But it's through December.
Do you know if anybody else in the Central Valley is running?
I've seen a few come across my profile. I don't recall by name, so
we gotta vote for you. Like seriously, it's always a win for Fresno when somebody can make it on there, and it's a really good. Like, have you always lived here in the Central Valley?
Primarily, I grew up in the foothills, and came to Clovis in my senior year.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So mountain girl.
The mountain girl. The mountain girl with these projects kind of
bucked up.
Bucked up, but I love the name too. No one can forget a name like that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Everyone needs to go get the links, click on this, click on that, and then I like that you actually have different sizes, so we don't have to commit to a big one, but then if we like it, we commit to a big one.
The protein?
For all of them? Wait. These are the biggest sizes? No, because one time you brought me one that was like littler for protein, I thought. Is this the only protein size?
They have 3 different proteins. One's like a keto, and the other one is the original bucked up feed. As far as I know, those are the only sizes. Actually, I think the keto might be a slightly larger container, but it's still 30 servings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what I do want to mention about your contest is a tax write-off.
Yes.
So we're getting to that season. So if they vote, especially on the 2-for-1 days, that's the day you really got to vote. It's the 2-for-1 votes, because then you can get I think it's like $1 counts for $2 and all that. So everyone's got to go vote, and remember, it's a tax write-off. So thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for inviting us. We're so excited to be here.
Wait, so who are you today in costume?
I am actually out of costume for once. My name is Bryanna. My handle is Not So Snow White. And this is my husband, Christopher. And we are so excited to be here talking to you today. We just got done doing a really exciting event together. So
How many characters did you guys do? It was like 14, 12 days?
Yeah, so we actually were able to make it for about a week of those days.
So 7 days of different, okay, so what were the costumes?
So we got approved to do 2 of our higher end costumes because we were competing with characters like Bumblebee. They had the Jackal there. We had Michael Myers. A lot of high, like heavy grade cosplays going on in that event.
Many hours.
So we were approved to do Ahsoka and Anakin, which is from Star Wars. There's actually a really cool show that's on about that right now. It's very new, Ahsoka. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. And then we got approved to do Star-Lord and Gamora, which we had done before for a charity event, I want to say about a year ago. And we were really excited to bring those characters to the event because we had so many Star Wars fans and Marvel fans attending.
That's so cool. And tonight, what are you going to be character tonight? Because now you're doing some cool stuff that I just found out about.
Yeah, so we've actually been participating in a place called Beyond the Wine. They're doing a month of October where they're doing karaoke, which they're encouraging people to come in costume and they get to sing. So last week we did Batman and Catwoman, and this week we're doing Beast Boy and Raven, which means he gets to be green this time instead of me, which I'm very excited for.
I get to sing happier songs too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Batman's pretty sad.
Yeah.
So you guys actually try to sing like your characters?
We like to include
sing songs like that are according with the characters.
Yeah.
That is so
moves
cool.
And stuff, yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like you can like do like somber songs. He was like, "Let me be a Batman all in my feels," because he was the Robert Pattinson one.
I was like, what if I sang like a Barbie girl and I was like, this is my favorite song. Like,
Oh, that would be funny. I love that. And then, but you said it's usually cosplay karaoke on the regular one. No, it's not October.
Actually, they're just barely starting that up. That's actually going to be something
Tuesdays.
new. Yeah.
I love that. We used to have this thing because I'm from LA. We had this thing called porn star karaoke.
really?
But it was, well, Ron Jeremy was always there before he was president. I actually took my mom there one time, and I had to explain to her who these people were, and like.
Oh my God, that sounds like the best time ever. She must have had a blast.
Yeah, so it was really funny. So this kind of like reminds me of like that a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
But way cooler if you guys were singing in character. Nobody's singing character there, thank goodness. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. They would have given a show.
That would have
Maybe
been a
make
little
some money
different.
off
You know,
that.
that would have been a little different.
But definitely a night to remember, I'm sure.
Right?
Still fun.
So like, so tonight, what are you guys going to sing?
Actually,
that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
We like to do characters that kind of translate to our personalities, which actually usually works out for us a lot. Like, as an example, Star-Lord and Gamora. He's like the fun, carefree, like, I'm a dance-off kind of guy, and he's just like that. And then I was always like the in my feels, like, kind of, not even, like more... more dark, more edgy, and so that's why Gamora worked. She's always like off to the side. Like,
you always have a smile on your face. You're not good at doing dark and edgy.
You know, I like the aesthetic. I love the outfits. I live for like chains and black and leather and all that good stuff.
Don't let that smile fool you.
I'm sad. Really, I'm sad.
Yeah, like, don't let this fool you. This is how I feel on the inside. But what's great is his character. This one that we're going to be tonight is super funny. Mine, again, is pretty much the same exact characters. Again, he just gets to be green, which is awesome because I was green like 5 out of those 7 days.
Did you get green on everybody?
Everybody, everywhere. I was like, don't touch me. Like, this is a favor to you. Trust me. But oh my gosh, no, it was everything's green. Everything's green at home. We're still getting it ungreen.
Sometimes the wig would get stuck to the makeup, and so when you pull the wig off, it would pull the makeup to the side. He's like, we gotta touch it up. We gotta go fix it real quick. So we'd have to run to the back like at least 5 times a day.
So how long did it take? How long did it take when you got green?
Oh, you know, we would start. I would say in total, if he doesn't help me, 4 hours. And if he does help me, maybe about 2.5. Yeah.
So your kids couldn't even touch you because you have like. So how did they get scared?
That's so funny you ask that. I absolutely thought they would get terrified because they hadn't seen me like that. And when I came up to my daughter, because I was Ahsoka and Gamora, and they're aliens, and so they have like warrior paint or like really cool designs in their face. My daughter kept thinking I was dressing up as different color cats because she thought I was wearing whiskers because both characters have the white lines on their cheeks. So she kept coming up to me saying, "Oh wow, cute kitty cat, meow."
That is so funny.
She really enjoyed it a lot. So every day we would come home and we would be in full cosplay and I would be trying to get ungreen because I had been green for like 8 hours. And then she's like, "Mama, Elsa?" asking for her to dress up, or Mama Pony, because she wants to dress up like My Little Pony. And I'm like, you know, these are my babies. They let me go off and do these things and help make everyone else happy. How can I not come home and go as hard for them as I do for myself?
That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
So she dresses them up completely. She completely, like, she'll give them tails.
Wigs. They do makeup.
Yeah, well, it's like playing dress up, so of course they love it.
Yeah, she goes in.
They actually really enjoy it a lot. They get so excited every time I dress up because that means that later on they get to.
So how long have you guys been cosplaying for?
Actually, not very long. She's been cosplaying forever.
Oh, really? Okay, so how long have you been cosplaying for?
You know, it would depend on what you call cosplay. So for the community and getting involved in making costumes and like getting to grow and learn and be part of everyone and included in this really cool community, I would say we started about a year ago, 2 years ago.
So you guys got hardcore about a couple years.
Yeah. So I actually started off just, in high school, they would do fun rally themes. So I would look in my closet and be like, what do I have that can be made into a costume? And so I would start off there. I started doing Snow White, and then I later on just kept putting those things together.
So that's why your handle is Not Quite.
Yeah. My handle's Not So Snow White.
But is that a character you did a lot?
Actually, I did start off. My father we would work different birthday parties or pumpkin patches.
So what did your dad cosplay as?
He was a clown, actually. That's actually where I got started in all this. I actually know how to do balloons and face painting and stuff. Yeah, and so I would do it as Snow White. And that did really well. And then I started working for Disney, and they're very adamant about their character integrity. So we weren't allowed to dress up as Disney characters. So that's where that journey had ended.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And it had just started at that point.
And then you guys met through Disney.
We did, yeah.
So tell us the story there.
Oh, yeah. It was a good story.
Yeah.
We looked like such dorks in our picture. We have the picture at home. It's when we both got added on as full-time cast members. That's what they called it. Yeah, but we looked such like.
You had a faux hawk.
I had a faux hawk. My hair was really short.
I was like a little goofy looking still because I was kind of younger. I still had.
She was always beautiful.
Stop.
She's crazy.
Well, I looked dorky, but he did too, and everyone calls it our awkward prom picture because they took a picture of us together.
And like I kind of put my arm around her, but I was still standoffish, so I was like a little bit away from her with my arm.
Oh my
It was so
God. You
funny.
guys like had just kind of met at that
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
So we have the first like commemoration of that. We have a picture of that. So that's always fun to look back on. But we actually were just really good friends for like a year. Like I liked
lugging
him.
boxes, actually. That was her job. We were lugging boxes in the morning. We would unpack the trucks and then put all the stuff out. So
Got that muscle power. there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, it's so funny because when we moved into our house, everybody was like, "You guys need help?" And she was like, "No, we got it." And
Like we trained for this. We actually
Yeah,
like
we
we do this
do
for a living.
this
Yep,
now.
that was our thing. But we were friends for a year, and I liked him, and he was all like.
I kept telling her that. Well, afterwards, when we did get together, I was like, I didn't like pursue you at first because I didn't want to taint you, defile you.
And you guys weren't allowed to date.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
No.
that had no
Yeah.
factor in it.
Yeah, we definitely weren't allowed.
So you kept on the DL.
We had to. Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't frown upon relationships, but marriages they do. If you get married, you have to go to a different.
We didn't know
store.
that until way later after we hit it for a while.
So we
but it was
kept
so
it-
funny because my boss called her a biatch, but not knowing that she called her that. Yeah, because
Wow.
we were talking about a story about where I had bought her a gift, but I didn't say her name because we couldn't be together. And she was in the room as well. And so it was the three of us, me, my boss, and her. And so I told her how she had to, she returned the gift, or she wanted to return the gift.
So
because
he bought
it was
me
expensive.
something very expensive.
Yeah.
Disney doesn't offer a lot of hours, so basically it was his whole check, and it was the very first like early Christmas he had. Like we never celebrated holidays together, and I was like, I can't accept this. And so he had reiterated that story to our boss.
Without her name. And then my boss was like, "Oh my God, what a biatch." And
Oh, what did you just react?
I was like,
she's like,
yeah.
"Yeah, she sucks."
That's hysterical.
Yeah, so
You
that
made
was
him take it back? That is kind of
No.
No. I mean,
I convinced her to keep it.
he did get
Awesome.
me a Harry Potter jacket and hat, and it is Slytherin, so I guess that says anything about
And
me.
you bought it from the Disney store?
No, I bought it from, it was box lunch when it first opened up. in
Oh
the mall.
man, because it might
Yeah.
have been cheaper with your discount.
It was
Disney.
Black
Exactly,
Friday.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
waited in those lines during his lunch
Oh man.
on Black Friday. So that's even more why her boss was like, oh, she's a
That is hysterical. Oh my
yeah,
god.
no, I actually still have it. I still wear it. So no, it was a great gift.
So at what point did you guys come out
Happy
and about your relationship to everybody?
We were pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to hide at that point. you
Yeah,
know?
we
They're
actually
like,
did it for a while, but we
they were
kept
like,
needing the
"Who'd you
same
get
day.
pregnant by?"
They were like, we kept needing the same days off and the same ultrasound.
Oh my gosh. And then you guys couldn't post anything on social media.
No.
Yeah.
did it. So
All of our
we were
bosses
like-
were following us and stuff. So like, yeah,
So we had kept that quiet for a
How
while.
did they feel when you came out with all of that?
They
One of
were
them was
so shocked.
One of them was like, I knew, but we were like, yeah, okay, sure, you knew.
But all of the rest of them were like, "What? Like they're together and they're pregnant? Like we were gonna
Did
try
you
to
get to keep the job
Oh yeah, absolutely.
together?
Yeah,
So they
absolutely.
didn't put you at different
No.
stores?
No, actually.
They said unless one of us tried to pursue management, it's fine.
Yeah, and
when we eventually got married, he had left the Disney store. We got married, and
Hey, all the Disney people were there.
and I had found my diamond in the rough. I was like, I'm taking this one, and I stayed working there until the ship went down and we closed
Oh
in
my
2021.
goodness. Wow, that is a great story.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And then, so she got you into cosplay. She roped you into this. huh?
100%. Like I always told her, like I always wanted to try it but my family was not someone like they wouldn't.
They weren't making animal balloons when you grew
Yeah,
up.
Definitely
exactly. And they wouldn't. Like, they were like not encouraging of like dressing up and putting on makeup and stuff. So when I finally got with her, we branched off, and she was like, "We should try it." And I was like, "You know what? All right, let's do it." And then we went to a club the first time. It was called Mint Nightclub. It was downtown.
Oh,
in
yeah, I
Tower.
remember that.
Yeah, before they shut down, and they would give us free tickets just because we were in cosplay. And so they were like, if you come back next week, we'll give you more free tickets. And so every week, she would come up with 2 to 3 different cosplays depending on how many days. And trust me, it cost a lot of money.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Is that why you started learning how to make your own stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. She got
absolutely.
good at it too. She got really good at it. Yeah.
That's
but,
awesome.
But yeah, so they just gave us a bunch of free tickets, and so we were just like, okay, all right.
So
I
that's
guess
how
this
we
is
got a
thing.
bunch of characters under our belt, and how everyone started knowing that we cosplayed because they would see us
And people would buy you drinks because you were in character.
Yeah.
all the time, all the
That
time.
is, what a great, yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah.
really smart.
I was always DD, so he was always the one drinking. But even if I don't say I'm DD, he's always the one that gets drinks bought for him. He's really charming, though. I get it. But yeah,
You were-
It's so funny because sometimes people will run up to me and like pick me up and spin me around and be like, hey, I remember you. I'll be like, hey.
That's hysterical. I love it.
yeah. But it was really great. It was a lot of fun.
So much fun.
And it was the way we were able to try to do things we had never done before. Like,
And then Project Wish Upon a Star hit us up through Instagram, right?
yeah.
And asked her to be a part of it. And so
That's the charity organization we had first done Star-Lord and
That is
Gamora
so
for.
Yeah.
cool. Were they blown away by your costumes?
Yes, they were so kind. They actually told me they go to so many conventions because their charity organization is they'll take a child from Valley Children's and they'll dress them up as a superhero and they'll take them to Comic-Con.
That is so cool.
yeah,
And
amazing.
so they have other cosplayers go and support
So did you guys
them.
get to meet the child, or no? You didn't
So
get to
we
meet the child?
actually
We haven't been a part of the Comic-Con trip yet.
Oh, okay.
But they just invited us this last time. They said that next time they go, they would like us to go with them.
Yeah,
And
so we
it's such
have
a
that
big,
coming
yeah.
up.
Wow,
it's such-
and they're going to
yeah.
pay for you guys to go to the Comic-Con
Yeah.
as well?
we
Yeah.
get the pass with them as well as long as we're with them, which we're part of the organization now.
That's
we
so
get to do
cool.
that.
So what
Yeah.
kind of cons have you gone to?
Only local.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
wow.
actually never been outside of any Fresno convention, so it would be our first big one. Actually, I was just invited also to do SAC Anime Fashion Show, the fashion show coming up in January, and
Wow.
that just came to us about a week ago, so we're really excited for that opportunity.
I'm just going to hold her
too.
makeup. I'll just be right there. Just,
He's the
like
best
makeup.
at it. The only reason I was able to stay green all of Fresno Fair was because of him. Yeah, he would go to the back and help me out.
Hey,
Yep,
hey,
every
you're
time.
not green anymore.
Yeah, he's actually really amazing at it. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what? You can be my designated makeup person. Let me just teach you how to do
you're
this.
the DD and you're the DM.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
That is so cool. Okay, so where can we follow? Do you guys? I follow you on Instagram. Do you guys have one together?
You know, we actually usually use my page as like our platform because
Okay.
everything I do is included with.
So what's your Instagram? So tell our viewers.
You can find me on Instagram at the handle Not So Snow White.
And is that everything else? Are you active on
Everything else, yep.
And
It's
And
the
you
same.
have everything?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. That is so cool. And what are your guys' day jobs? I'm kind of curious.
Oh,
If you want to say.
my daughters both have autism, so I actually am allowed to be a stay-at-home mom to support them and their growth.
Aw, that's
And
great.
I work at Target. So, yeah.
It's a great job.
I,
He
sh-
loves
I
Target.
shop for people.
Yeah.
So you're still selling Disney?
Yeah.
way.
Basically, yeah, exactly.
That's actually why we keep doing this, to keep the magic alive. It disappeared in
Exactly.
2021, so
We try to bring some still to Fresno because it's starting to slowly dwindle.
And
I
really
love
needs it.
that. So yeah, so if people want you, they can. You're really good about being active and quick on your Instagram.
Absolutely.
So they could just get to your Instagram and then they can have you guys come. Because have you guys thought of like doing private parties and stuff? I mean,
We've never gotten offers, but that'd be amazing.
yeah, like I would want you to come like a kid. I would think and you guys
Yeah.
would come in the characters.
Oh, you're the sweetest. Yeah,
Exactly.
that would be amazing.
and you guys would do
Definitely.
characters upon request. I feel like you could pull anything out of your
Oh,
sleeve.
you're
She
so
totally
sweet.
can. She has done so many costumes the night before. You would
That's
not.
gonna be stressful.
Dude,
Oh my
she
goodness.
stays up 24 hours that day, and then she'd be like a zombie the morning of. But as soon as we get to the event, she's like, "Hey, everybody!" Like,
Okay, so what's the dream? What's your dream costume that you've not done yet?
oh,
Ooh. What?
was it Robin and Starfire or?
No, actually,
Which one did
we're
you wanna
actually.
do?
I got to be honest. We're doing one this Friday for the.
Yes.
So, Art, our friend that had signed us on for the Fresno Fair.
Shout out to Art Silva.
Yes, he's amazing. He's actually bringing a Las Vegas burlesque show to the Fulton 55 this Friday, and he invited us to be judges of the competition.
Right on.
Her. He invited her. I'm just showing up to support, you know.
So we're actually working up to one of our first like really big cosplays where we're both in body paint, but I'm going as Fiona and he's going as Shrek.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
this so much. I cannot wait to see.
We're gonna be
pictures
so
of this.
green.
Very excited to be green. Yes.
Are there any other body colors we could be besides green?
Yeah, we can do an avatar one eventually. We haven't been blue yet.
Yes, that would be
Actually,
so
we were
cool.
just talking about doing a birthday for my dad that involves, we're gonna try to do an X-Men party. I don't know if you know
Oh
X-Men.
yeah, how fun! So which characters?
So we were thinking of doing Magneto and Mystique, which means I gotta be blue.
She's gonna be blue.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're gonna switch off and go from green to blue.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
At least it
open
translates
to
well.
any and all colors. We'll just go with it and see where we go from there.
Well, thank you so much for coming on my show today. Everybody, you gotta follow these people.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for
Seriously.
having us. Seriously, you are so incredible. Amazing, gorgeous, talented
Insanely
cosplayer.
amazing.
Fit in right with us. You
So
wouldn't
much
even
fun.
know she's this gorgeous goddess we have sitting in front of us with all this beautiful
It
power.
was fun to
seriously, she's
cosplay
amazing.
with you guys. That was our little Star Wars cosplay.
She
so
was
yeah.
Leia. We got to see her behind the scenes. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
A lot of
Yes.
fun.
Absolutely.
So yes, again, we gotta do that Star Wars
sure.
cosplay.
Yes.
Yes, we'll keep you guys posted.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so tell our viewers what you do.
Okay, so pretty much I am a financial educator as well as a certified credit counselor. So I help people with their finances to be able to build credit, build wealth.
So people with the worst credit can come to you.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's
yes.
awesome.
Those are my favorite customers. That's my target
Really?
market.
Okay.
Yes. So if you have like a 380 credit score, please come holler at me. I'll help you get your credit up. I've had several customers that, regardless what type of background, the ways to be able to build your credit is pretty straightforward and simple as long as you understand the formula. And then it's just a matter of just working with that person and their particular issues that they have and create I guess you could say a pathway to their goal, whether it's a 700 credit score or being more financially understanding of what's going on, having a budget maybe. Well, most families don't have any of those things set up right now. So especially today's day and age, with the inflation being the way it is, it's really important to be able to have those things set up.
What's the biggest thing people don't know about how to get their credit score up? Because I know there's a lot of little things we can do that we just were like, oh, that's all we have to do, and then it jumps 30 points. So
Yeah.
what are some of those tips you can give us?
Well, the first thing is most people don't understand what credit is. It's pretty much just like your financial report card. So they're tracking like what you're spending, how much you're spending, and where you're getting your money from, what companies are trusting you. And as long as you're making your payments on time in that process, they're going to continuously add more positive history, which is going to add more points to your credit. So that way your credit continues to go up and up and up because you're having more positive payment history. So it's like you're not missing assignments. You're making sure you turn everything in, essentially. The same concept.
Do you help people get with different, like if somebody wants a loan or something, or do you help people get connected to that source or not really?
Oh, yes, of
Okay.
course. So a lot of people I work with, they're looking to become either homeowners, business owners, want to buy a car. Like a lot of those things, they require credit. So having somebody help guide you through the process really makes the whole process streamlined and much easier. It makes where you don't have to worry about, am I doing this right? You have a professional in your back pocket that can call anytime you need. So, yeah.
Wow. And then there's still so many things where they want you to make like triple or quadruple times your income, which who does that? I mean, that's so far and few between.
Of course.
And so how do you get around when they want you to do that? And I mean, for example, I had just gone last year to a credit union. I have really great credit. So I went to the credit union for my car loan, whatever, had somebody at that credit union, like referral, everything was good. And then they were like, oh no, you don't make enough. You need to make like 3 times. And I'm like, what? It was like, they wanted to see like all this proof. And I had like so much in my savings, so much in this, so much in that. And I was like, no, we want to see, this income and that income. And I'm like, what the heck? So how do you get around stuff like that? And would I have called you to help me out with that?
Of course, of course. So there's a couple different things you can do. First things first, you can always add more positive payment history that helps boost your credit score. But congratulations, you already said you have an excellent credit score. So I'll make sure I talk about that first and foremost. I would say about 60% of Americans don't. They don't really understand how to get good credit scores. They don't understand how to manage their finances. So you're already above and ahead of the curve on that one.
But that was a big road bump. I'm all excited about my good credit, and then I got like rejected.
Yeah.
So I'm over 700. It was like I just got that. The rejection was like, what?
Yeah. So what they're talking about is like your debt to income ratio. So how much you make versus how much has to go out to other bills that are already scheduled and listed on your credit. So if you have, say, for example, you make $5,000 a month, right? But then your bills are over $2,000. Say there's $3,000 a month in bills. At that point, you're already at about a 65% of your debt to income ratio is already being used up. And at that point, they already see is that you don't have much left over, so you're more of a high risk. So the best thing you can do in that situation is, what I help people out with, is building a budget so that way they can eliminate things that are actually going to be reported to their debt to income ratio. So that way, if they don't need it, they can eliminate it, and now they have more spending cash. So it helps out with their percentages. Those are some of the things that really matter when it comes down to getting qualified for homes, cars, because they're trying to assess, can you afford this extra payment? And if they, based on how much available money you have in your debt to income ratio, that can turn to a yes or a no, even with high credit scores. And that's what they're looking at. They're looking at your total income versus how much you're paying out. And a lot of people, because bills keep going up, they're continuously adding more into that ratio, which puts them at a disadvantage when it goes to get qualified.
So what's a big, I think a big deterrent too is like people think that they have to wait like years for their credits to be good. What's the kind of improvement that you can do, some things that you turn it around quickly? Like, and how quickly do you turn around a lot of people's credit?
Oh, it's so fast. I actually had a customer, I'm not going to say her name or anything like that, but she will be in some of our upcoming advertisement and marketing.
Okay.
But yes, quick little success story. She started with us, I think, like in May. Pretty much a ghost. Didn't really have any credit, really.
Mm-hmm. One of the new credit people.
Yeah, like brand new, straight out of high school. I never ran my credit ever before in my life. But I want a car, I want a house, so no problem. Walked her through the process, got her set up with a few simple accounts, and explained to her how to use those accounts. So that way, for example, if you get a credit card, you don't want your credit card to go over 30%. The moment you go over 30% on that credit card, you're starting to actually hurt your credit. So I explained to her, like, look, the lower your balances, the lower you can keep your balances, the better. But you do want to see our activity. So for example, go buy your gas, pay it off. Buy your gas again, pay it off.
Well, as long as you pay it off, you're fine, basically.
You
want to go high. You want to go high, but you want to pay it off.
That's the secret sauce, because people, they'll charge it, they'll forget about it, they'll charge it again, they'll forget about it. Next thing you know, they'll have a $500 card, which is their first card they ever got, and the balance is $450. Now,
oh, that's terrible. Okay, I get that. Okay.
And then at that point, now your credit takes a shot. So I got her set up with a simple account. It's called Self. It's easy. Anybody can sign up for it. I honestly don't even talk about it much because it's a free app. Most people can just go pull it up right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what it does is it lets you save money at the same time build credit.
That's called Self. Okay, really cool.
So all you do is you put money into the account. As long as you keep putting the money into the account on time, they'll track it as a positive payment history. But like I said before, positive payment history is the biggest factor when it comes to credit. So every single month you're adding another positive mark. I did this with her for, I think it was 5 months. She went from a ghost to over a 700 credit score.
Wow, so what do you have to do to be a ghost? Is a ghost like...
A ghost is like, I've never tried my credit before. Now, anybody else, no, it's a very similar process. It just may take a little bit of me getting certain items off your credit, or even some items, they fall off naturally just based on time. So that's how I went. Remember you mentioned earlier, how long it takes. Certain items, they'll fall off in 2 years.
Really?
The older the item is, the less it affects your credit. So the problem is a lot of times people mess with their credit so much trying to fix it or trying to apply for more stuff, and I can qualify for this loan to fix this problem. No. Create a solid budget. After you have a solid budget, know where your money is going, and then you can just start directing it like a maestro. So that way you can really start getting some traction and have a strategy. Because most people, when they start spending, they forget about that type of stuff. It's like, blow it, let it go, whatever, do what you gotta do, and then afterwards they get the bill, and it's like, your jaw's on the floor, what do I do now, So you really want to just help them with managing, so that way it doesn't really get to that situation. And if they can't, call me. I'll go back through your credit, and I'll get it cleaned up for you, so I can get you a fresh start.
Is it true the more you run it, the worse it is? Explain that, because I'll never understand that. I know it's ridiculous because you want to get good credit so you can use your credit, but if you use your credit too much, then they bring down your credit score. They look at it like you're being thirsty, right? That's how they see it. Like, oh, you're asking too much for loans for this or loans for that, and they treat it the same way. But you're allowed to run your credit twice every 2 years. What?
That's how many times you can run your credit without
Oh my
hurting
gosh,
yourself.
that's like not 10. Well, so, okay, so when you come on board and you run someone's credit, so that's bad, or you're not running it like that, or it's different with you?
It's different with me.
Okay, why is that?
So the reason why it's different is because I'm going to pull your credit just like Credit Karma pulls your credit. I'm not actually doing an inquiry. I'm just pulling it up so I can see the reports. So when I go through the reports, I'm looking through it with the customer. I do free in-home design. I'm crossing jobs. I do free consultations with my customers, so that way I can walk them through the process of what's going on with their credit and really give them I guess you can say a game plan on how to be able to get through to the process of wherever they're trying to go. So when they have items on their credit that's maybe hurting them, I can identify what's going on with them. Let them know, like, look, this is going to come off in 2 years. This one you need to know, not worry about. These ones are actually going to be a problem because they have balances. Some of these companies may try to sue you because of the balances. And then at that point, I make my recommendations after that based on what I'm seeing. But the process is pretty smooth. It's easy. It's free as far as our company. It costs $1 for the company we partner with.
Really?
Yeah, that's just to get everybody started. So
Wow.
$1 startup. I don't even charge for the free consultation. I don't charge until after we got a chance to know each other, after we walk through that first process. Then at that point, if you feel comfortable with me, you like working with me, you like the way I explain everything, we move forward. My prices are pretty fair, I think. So.
Okay. Yeah. And then are there cards we should like totally stay away from where you're like, that's just a terrible card. No one should have like a Macy's card. Like, do you have like, are there cards like that? Like,
there are definitely some cards. They all have the same issue. It just depends on what type of interest rates, what type of fees. So those are some things I always tell people to look for. Does the card you're applying for, does it have an app? Because if you don't have an app, it's easy to forget to make your payments on time. So no app, no, you're not getting any play from me. Also, do you have any rewards? Are there fees? Some charge annual fees, startup fees. I hate all those. I only want the ones that give me rewards points, cash back points, any type of rewards and benefits. Those are the ones you really want. Now, obviously, you're going to qualify for whatever it is based on where your credit qualifies for at the time.
Okay.
But you want to build yourself up. So every time you start off, you can probably start with an easy one like Open Sky or who else? Credit One, Capital One. Those are some good ones that you can get now that they're easily qualify for, but not all of them they have different tiers. They have some that have better rewards than others, better plans than others. Once you get into like the gold standard, American Express, who else? There's a lot of those big like travel companies, those travel cards, getting the airline cards. Those are the ones you really want to get to. But that's where you really cross over to like the business credit, because that's where like the big money is. That where these Fortune 500 companies, that's how they travel. That's how they let their employees travel. They buy everything on business credit because they get greater rewards back than you do on the personal credit side.
Okay.
So it just gives you bigger balances, bigger availability, and greater rewards for everything you spend.
And then do you ever help people with investing? Like when they get to that point, do you have people that you hook them up with?
I'm just starting investing training right now, actually. So I'm not even getting paid for this, obviously, so I'm just going to give you all the game. Life insurance is where you want to go. The reason why is because they can't even advertise for it because the government doesn't want you to, because the government doesn't get paid because they can't tax you.
Okay.
See, that's the big thing that people don't understand. When it comes to how you get your money, how you're taxed is one of the biggest factors. So when you have like a regular job working at, whether you're at McDonald's or a doctor, if somebody is paying you a payroll check, they're taking out the taxes first.
Right.
So you're getting 30% right out the top that's coming off your money. If you're a business owner, you can drop that down in very creative ways, down to as much as 10% that you're paying instead, or even less. That's why when Donald Trump talks about not paying taxes makes them smart, that's actually very true. That's what actually the people that are rich and wealthy, that's what they're constantly learning new ways to do using the loopholes that are available. So you want to actually move into business where you're either doing investments like life insurance, like stocks and bonds, mutual funds, stuff like that, that actually is tax deferred. So that way they're not taking money out of your money, that you can actually be able to keep and reap more of the benefits of the money that you're growing.
So you're adding another layer to like what you offer.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yes, actually, World Financial Group has actually invited me over. They want me to be a part of the team, so I'm actually looking to do exactly that. I'll be starting in the next few weeks, and just going through the training to be able to get my license.
So you're doing the same thing, like simultaneously, the
Yep.
credit services and that, which it actually
Just
kind of runs into
expansion.
each other, right? Like,
Yep, just an expansion. So as people, I help people out with their budget. As we find space in the budget, let's put money more into investment so you can grow your money, or you can double your money more quickly. There's a lot of people that are putting their money in these banks, but say you have, $20,000 in the bank because you feel good about that because you worked behind off to be able to have $20,000 in the bank. The bank is only going to give you 0.01% on that money.
oh my goodness.
But if you put that money into maybe life insurance or a mutual fund or even like a cash value life insurance particularly, your money compounds. So it's depending on the interest rate, you can actually calculate how long it's going to take for your money to double. If I did the same numbers with the bank account, it would probably take me about 100 years. But if I do, like say I have an 8%, I can be able to get about every 7 years, my money that I put into that account is going to double. So I just know if I just feed this money machine, my money's going to double. Why wouldn't I continue to feed it as much as I possibly can? Because my money is going to continue to work for me while I'm doing other things.
Right.
So what I teach people now is whatever extra money you have in your budget, put a portion into savings, put another portion into the money machine, so that way you can grow your money more quickly, so you can have a retirement, so you can pay for your kids to go to college, so you don't have to worry about working still when you're 65, and you put all this work in all of your life. You don't have to go work at McDonald's or Walmart as a greeter, because that's the only job that's willing to hire you now.
Because you're older, yeah.
Exactly.
So, basically, you said about if you have your own business and you get, that credit card. So, do you take a lot of your clients and tell them how to start their own business so they can get their own business credit card? That's another layer of what. That's really cool. I mean, these are all nice facets of that you add. So, okay.
I just as I learn new things. Like I'm a bookworm, really. So
that's good.
Robert T. Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad series has been amazing. I'm on my 4th book of the series. Also, James Clear, Atomic Habits is a great book. It really helps you understand how people think and how people operate, especially in regards to money and desire and things they really want in life. So you can help them get out of their own way sometimes. Who else? Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover. Really helps people understand how to break down what they actually need, separate their needs from their wants in their budget, so that way they can actually put their money all to the needs and then buy assets with the extra instead of buying leisure things.
Right, exactly.
Because, most people have enough money to be able to start a business or to put enough money aside to be able to start the LLC. But
yeah, so, and you kind of teach them, okay, what are your talents, what do we do? We can make this a business, and you help your client. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you do all that.
Yes.
Not everybody does all that you do.
Well, I hope
right?
not, because that's what keeps me in business.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so where can we access you? Do we call you? Do we go on your Instagram? Where can we access you for all the knowledge you just said today?
Of course. So the website is MT, so it's for myself and my wife, mtcreditservices.com.
Okay.
That's our website. Then you have MT Credit Services is, the MT Credit is the Instagram. But I'll make sure I give all the handles over to you because I don't memorize all that stuff.
So MT Credit, would you guys have a business number? Not really.
Yes, 559-614-3148. They can reach me directly. Give me a call. We'll set up an appointment. There wouldn't be a problem at all. I'm usually available either to Zoom. I can meet in person if necessary.
Perfect. Okay.
But we just want to help as many people as possible. And really help people get through this economic time we're dealing with. Because with a little bit more financial knowledge, the world is your oyster.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's a great show. I appreciate having me on. Your team has been great. Kept me company. It's been cool.
I like it. I've already learned so much, so that's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh I must confess dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no this time we were playing pretend. Playing pretend. Playing pretend. Ooh, playing pretend.
It's a mystery.
Hi, I'm Sparkle Sujan, and I am the host of the Everything Sparkle Show. I would like to invite you to come and hang out with me every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, as I interview the world one guest at a time. Everything Sparkle is available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and CMAC.tv. Plus, if you're in the Central California area, you can watch on Comcast Xfinity Channel 93 or AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Hope to see you there.